YouTube is by far superior to Twitch. I could get controversial and extend that to the actual creators as well, get a flame war going in the comments and on my other social media by saying that YouTubers are better than Twitch streamers, but that might be a topic for another day. It's true, in my opinion, as a broad strokes generalization, but for now I will focus on the infrastructure, opportunities, culture, and value of the respective platforms. I'm going to assume that everyone already knows what YouTube and Twitch are and understands the differences. YouTube is a platform of primarily video content, pre-made and uploaded. Twitch is a platform of primarily streams, broadcasted live to an active concurrent viewer base. However, YouTube also now has a streaming service on top of their existing framework, and their market share, along with other competitors to Twitch, by the way, has been growing. This is because YouTube is better than Twitch in almost every conceivable way save two, the UI and, for now, the streaming revenue opportunities. Both of these things, however, can be changed, and when they have been updated or improved in any respect, there will be no conceivable reason to use Twitch over YouTube unless you are an existing broadcaster with a massive viewer base who simply does not want to endure the grueling process of migrating that audience. For everyone else, literally everyone else, YouTube is categorically superior to Twitch, and today I'd like to outline why. The very first thing to talk about is operating at scale. YouTube has a global audience of over 2 billion monthly unique visitors compared to Twitch and its 140 million. This could be argued as an issue of specificity owing to how the Twitch user base are mostly just viewing active streams, whereas YouTube viewers are spending time on a now immeasurable archive of static videos. But the point of operating at scale is that YouTube has already been forced over the past 8 or so years to solve a series of problems that nearly killed the entire platform. Some might say that they were slow, that the solutions are imperfect at best, and that YouTube could have done a much better job. All of this is true, but the reality is they at least have systems for these issues, and Twitch simply does not. The biggest one that comes to mind right now is copyright. Twitch is cruising for a monumental beatdown when it comes to copyright, and that could be because Amazon doesn't care, it could be that the current management does not even know what to do, or it could be a bloated and sluggish corporation that struggles to get anything through its spiderweb of individual departments. But regardless of the actual reason, the fact is Twitch is not responding to these issues hardly at all. A small-scale example is music. Music is played by Twitch broadcasters constantly to probably tens, maybe hundreds of thousands of people. And very recently, just one company with a couple of different songs took notice and retroactively filed some copyright claims. Twitch is so draconian that their system for solving these claims upon receiving a DMCA takedown notice is to cleanse the stream and automatically ban the creator for 24 hours with a 3-strike system that results in a permanent on-the-spot ban if 3 different copyright strikes are received. The difference on YouTube is that there is actually an expiration period where these strikes will expire after a given period of time. And also there is a buffer period if you get 3 all in the same week or something like that, where you can appeal and see what's going on. Your channel won't be terminated immediately. There will be about a 7-day buffer period where it will tell you this is going to happen, but you can file and talk to YouTube and figure out what's going on. It doesn't just all come crashing down around you all at once. This one company filing claims for a couple of songs resulted in the panic of millions, caused multiple high-profile streamers to receive suspensions, and the ensuing panic saw broadcasters deleting their entire library of VODs, removing all of their popular clips, and basically just falling apart because Twitch didn't have any system in place to solve this problem, despite knowing full well it was looming on the horizon. YouTube, on the other hand, as imperfect as they admittedly are, already have comprehensive systems to deal with this process. Music can be claimed and monetized or claimed and struck down, but more often than not it is simply claimed and tracked by the claimant, or the ad revenue is split between the two. But in almost all circumstances, claims or strikes can be appealed, firing back a counter notification to the opposing party. This gives creators more feedback, more control, and more security. The system isn't perfect, I'm not saying that it is, far from it, but at least there is a system. And that is just one tiny, minuscule example of where YouTube has implemented actual solutions for problems that will arise at scale. Another issue is moderation. Again, YouTube has issues of their own. No one is disputing that, but when you compare them to Twitch, it's night and day. On Twitch, moderation is a subjective process determined by a trust and safety team. These people review each individual case, with partner managers stepping up to lobby for their favorite streamers, defend them, go to bat for the ones that they like or not, and the whole thing becomes kind of like a jury system among a single social group. The result is that creators have absolutely no consistency. The rules in terms of service simply do not exist for certain broadcasters, owing to their connections or the number of internal staff who will step up and defend them because they personally like them, or any number of other nebulous reasons. Others get slammed for a single frame of nudity on a video that was not even supposed to contain it in the first place. For the sake of time, I won't analyze and play each individual instance where this type of thing occurred. I've done that in the past on numerous different occasions, so you can check the video archives for Twitch videos if you're interested. But the point is, the entire judicial system on Twitch is a subjectively determined and enforced social group. On YouTube, because the platform operates at scale, this is not really as possible. In truth, it won't be possible on Twitch for much longer either, but much like that one music company striking a couple of different songs, when the system changes, there will be panic and there will be turmoil. There will also be a horde of different issues, and YouTube has already solved the bulk of those issues. Yes, the algorithmic banning system has flaws. Yes, it results in lengthy bans on occasion for broadcasters who really did nothing wrong, primarily as they roll out new parameters, but the issue of subjectivity has been mostly solved. We can argue about internal employees enacting shadow bans or blacklists or any number of shady pseudo-systemic sanctions against creators. I feel like my own channel actually got shadow banned recently, if we were being completely honest. The metrics stopped lining up at all, and there are all sorts of really strange analytic and viewership issues or discrepancies that never used to exist. But as a generalization, YouTube has solved the scale issues of moderation in some way, albeit imperfect, very imperfect, while Twitch has done absolutely nothing. On the one hand, you might have sketchy circumstances with lower views. You could be suspended on YouTube by the algorithm for a period of time that is painfully long, but if you look at the actual user base sizes for the different platforms, that's incredibly unlikely to happen. But generally speaking, in my experience these past 4 years, eventually you will receive a clarification and be given help within the confines of a system that is still woefully inadequate, absolutely, but at least there is a system. On Twitch, you can get banned or not banned, which has little or nothing to do with actual infractions, and the standards of what is and is not enforced are entirely flexible, based on nothing but a subjectively operating group of individuals, while their company has not even begun to tackle issues that will arise when the scale outpaces their cobbled-together scotch tape and popsicle stick infrastructure. There are many more examples of how operating at scale will throw Twitch into a wood chipper, but the next big item is discoverability. YouTube is by far superior to Twitch in terms of how one can get discovered. The reason for this is multifaceted, but I'll do my best to simplify it. One, any content you produce on YouTube can be recommended alongside other relevant content. As an example, there is a creator named Slush who creates interesting streamer documentaries. One of his videos pertaining to Dr. Disrespect is actually recommended right under Dr. Disrespect's main content, such as a live stream with hundreds of thousands of viewers. This means that as a smaller channel, a much smaller channel, Slush has his content meshed right in with a massive broadcaster because it's relevant for the viewer, and this growth opportunity is not rivaled by Twitch in any conceivable way. Now, I understand that the mediums of video and live stream are somewhat different, but hear me out here. On Twitch, when you stream, your video gets archived as a VOD, but the vast majority of Twitch users visit the platform purely for the live content alone. On YouTube, you can stream and archive your streams as a VOD again, but also make on-platform edits to those streams. And that VOD is then pushed out to an audience of 2 billion monthly uniques and meshed into other browsing features or playlists. Furthermore, as your VOD content is utilized by the algorithm and has the ability to tap into this massively superior overall audience, you can now stream in the future with live recommendations/notifications that will funnel new viewers who find your content from other VODs, clip reels, or material all across the platform and brings them right to your most current live broadcast. All of which can happen while being meshed together with other streamers, other creators, other popular uploads, etc. And all of this on a platform with a massively increased overall user base. Effectively, the growth potential for anyone who is not already a top 1% or more likely the top 1/10 of 1% on Twitch is not even worth comparing, because Twitch will never even come close to YouTube. But going further, maybe it was never even intended to. Next up on our list is advertising, because it may seem like a fairly standard and uniform item. Twitch has ads, YouTube has ads, whatever, it's the same, but it really isn't. YouTube is owned by Google. Google is arguably the world's premier advertising platform through their AdSense program. Amazon is high on the list, absolutely, with their own ad-serving network, but the core of their business model is marketplace sales and delivery. Google, on the other hand, places a top priority on YouTube because YouTube and its 2 billion monthly uniques serve as a pipeline for their AdSense program. Amazon has certainly made great strides in promoting Twitch, but if you really examine the relationship here, Amazon helps drive users into Twitch with the Prime package or other incentives. They can profit from this relationship, yes, but Twitch is not really driving users into Amazon to their main pipeline to function within that ecosystem. For Google, the relationship to YouTube is inextricable. Amazon could drop Twitch right now and not bat a single eyelash. They could not care less because it does not affect their core business. Google would not and never will drop YouTube, ever. They will continue to pump insane resources into it, even operating the platform at a loss for many years because of how important it is to the rest of their core business model. If you look at this from a top-down perspective, you can see two corporate behemoths with two content platforms, one already bigger than the other with more resources flowing into it by the very day, and the other is a side project with little to no comparable reason for support. This could be the reason we see Twitch floundering when confronted by even the most obvious upcoming issues, such as copyright, for example. Whether it be music, video material, or anything else for that matter, the things that see Twitch nearly spinning out of control could have been dealt with easily had Amazon dedicated a team with resources to the project. But in my opinion, this is quite clearly not happening, which results in predictable upcoming issues becoming rather obvious and damaging problems. Now, to be fair, there are a couple of areas where Twitch pulls ahead of YouTube, such as user interface and streamer revenue programs. The UI on YouTube is just bad. It's really bad. Figuring out exactly how to set it all up is a learning curve that does not need to be there, it does not need to exist, and it's a painful experience all around. Finding new streams for users browsing the YouTube Live section of the site is like pulling teeth right now because of their latest UI update, and Twitch blows YouTube out of the water in that category. Furthermore, Twitch has programs like the Bounty Board, which allows streamers, mostly just larger broadcasters at this time I believe, but still a very good program, to stream specific games through a contract interface and get paid based on viewership numbers or number of installs, etc. And this program is exceptional for creators and should be emulated elsewhere. YouTube does not currently have that type of program, and there are certainly a few other aesthetic or revenue-oriented areas where Twitch excels ahead, but YouTube is currently developing new items such as Brand Connect, which will facilitate partnerships between brands and creators directly on the platform in the studio dashboard. And to go further, a lot more reputable brands are taking out huge contracts in the YouTube platform when compared to Twitch. It's really night and day. A lot more money flows through one particular platform. This is comparable and might one day extend to streaming, I'm sure, but if we look at all of this with a broader lens, we can see that YouTube has rapidly created and emulated the successful aspects of Twitch, such as bits, which take the form of super chats, memberships, which mirror the subscription program, for example, and even a method of integrating merchandise partnered with a dropshipping manufacturer directly into your live streams and videos. Twitch and YouTube are competing on features, but one of them has an existing endemic user base to funnel into the streaming section of their website that is larger than any other website on planet Earth, save Google itself, which is actually the owner. On the one hand, Twitch has just rebranded Twitch Prime to Prime Gaming, leaning into the dominant video game-oriented section of their user base, but YouTube has a wider-ranging user base to funnel into streams of nearly any subject matter at all. Twitch, for a long time at least, attempted to branch out and secure wider demographics, which appears to have failed, or at the very least been somewhat deprioritized, while YouTube can do so at will. All in all, Twitch and YouTube are perceived as monumentally different, yes, but that's not entirely accurate. Twitch is a live broadcast platform in its infantile stages, it really is, while YouTube is a live broadcasting platform and the largest video serving infrastructure on planet Earth that has already solved or at least mitigated most of the problems Twitch has yet to encounter. Twitch has a current first mover advantage in the space, which resulted in a dominant market share, but is now owned by Amazon, who is very clearly not prioritizing it as heavily as Google is with YouTube. And the disproportionate resources, combined with the disproportionate user base, all on top of the fact that a first mover advantage is only effective as long as you continue to overcome issues, which honestly Twitch has not done, we can see that one platform is superior in almost every single conceivable metric to the other, and that gap will only ever widen over time. In the end, YouTube is better than Twitch, and this will become much more readily apparent with every core issue that Twitch slams headfirst into like Wile E. Coyote from the Roadrunner, while YouTube, with its larger resource allocation, an existing set of solutions to operate at scale, which it currently already does, pulls much farther ahead. That's it for today, though. If you want support, please consider joining and subscribing on locals.com. It's a monthly fee, yes, but I will be providing full video scripts, topic polls, merch discounts, and eventually incorporating the locals members into a credits role on all of the YouTube videos as a thank you to them. The idea is to establish a much more reliable and consistent income stream that will allow for easier topic choice without really having to consider viewership as much. Other stuff is linked down below as well, Twitter, merch, another gaming YouTuber to support as well, but I'll cut it there and stop rambling. As always, thank you all for watching, and have a nice night.